Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by deep woods, there lived a curious little boy named Arlo. Arlo loved playing in the forest, climbing trees, and watching birds fly. But there was one rule he always followed: never go near the ancient tree in the middle of the forest. Everyone in the village believed the tree was magical, or perhaps cursed. They said it had stood there for hundreds of years, older than the village itself. No one could remember why it was forbidden. Some whispered it hid a grumpy troll. Others claimed fairies with sharp teeth lived inside. These tales made the tree even more intriguing to Arlo, who wanted to explore everything the forest had to offer. One day, while gathering berries with his dog Scout, Arlo found himself wandering deeper into the woods than ever before. Birds were singing, butterflies fluttered around, and sunlight danced through the leaves. Then, suddenly, he saw it, the ancient tree. It was huge, taller than any tree he had ever seen, with thick roots that curled like giant snakes and bark as rough as dragon skin. Sunlight peeked through gaps in the branches, painting dancing patterns on the ground. Arlo stepped closer, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. That's when he noticed something strange: a tiny wooden door in the middle of the tree trunk. It had golden hinges and carvings of stars and moons around it. Could this be the legendary tree? What if the stories were true? Arlo looked around. No one was watching. His heart pounding with excitement, he whispered, "Should I open it?" Taking a deep breath, he reached out and turned the handle. Creak, the door swung open. Inside was a spiral staircase that led down into the tree. After a moment of hesitation, Arlo stepped in and slowly made his way down the stairs. As he descended, the air grew cooler, the light dimmer. Finally, he reached the bottom and gasped. Before him lay a clearing inside the tree. Moonlight streamed through openings in the roof, illuminating a secret underground world. There were talking animals, friendly faces, and creatures unlike anything Arlo had ever seen before. They stared back curiously. In the distance, a river shimmered, its water sparkling like silver. Nearby, luminous mushrooms glowed in various colors. Tiny winged fairies with iridescent wings hovered near a bubbling fountain. Everything was breathtaking, magical. Suddenly, a wise old owl with twinkling eyes swooped down from a branch. "Welcome, Arlo," he greeted warmly. "I've been expecting you." Arlo, startled, asked, "How did you know my name?" The owl smiled. "There are ways," he said cryptically. "I am Ulrich, come with me." Ulrich led Arlo on a tour of this hidden world. Everywhere he went, friendly creatures greeted Arlo with smiles and waves. He saw rabbits playing hopscotch, squirrels gossiping in trees, and birds with rainbow-colored feathers. The underground world seemed full of happiness and wonder. Then Arlo noticed something peculiar. Many of the creatures had worried or fearful expressions. They explained they were hiding because a terrible shadow beast was loose, sucking the joy and color from their world. This beast was draining all the happiness from the underground, causing plants to wilt and animals to lose their vibrant colors. Only a pure-hearted hero could defeat the shadow beast, but no one had come to help for many years. When Arlo heard their pleas, he felt a surge of bravery. Despite his fear, he knew he had to try. Ulrich took Arlo to an ancient-looking bookshelf, saying, "Here, you'll find what you seek. Choose wisely, young hero, for each path is fraught with unique." Arlo found 3 books, each bound in a different color: silver, gold, and emerald green. On the first, a shimmering butterfly rested. On the second, a majestic lion seemed to gaze. On the third, a wise-looking owl perched majestically. Each book radiated a different magical aura. Confused, Arlo wasn't sure which book to choose. Suddenly, a gentle voice spoke. "The right path isn't about the destination, but the qualities you embrace." Arlo turned to see a radiant fairy with gossamer wings. She explained that the books symbolized different paths a hero could take, but none were inherently better. It was about the traits they The silver book represented courage, the gold, kindness, and the green, wisdom. Which would Arlo choose? Arlo thought about the journey ahead and what qualities he believed a hero should possess. He knew he needed to be courageous, but also kind and wise. Why not have all three? So Arlo picked up all three books, and as he did, they began to glow. The clearing shimmered. And when it was clear, Arlo, Scout, and Ulrich stood before a sparkling portal. Only those with the purest heart can open all three paths, Ulrich said, nodding. With a determined nod, Arlo stepped through the portal with Scout at his side. The world on the other side was dark and dreary. Plants were wilting, their leaves shriveled. Animals huddled in corners, drained of color. In the center sat a swirling vortex, and from it rose a creature of pure darkness. Its eyes burned with malevolent glee, for it was the shadow beast. It had sucked away everyone's joy and color for so long that it had grown large and powerful. But when it saw Arlo, a sneer twisted its face. "Another fool to add to my collection," it snarled. As the shadow beast lunged, Arlo called out, "Stop." He remembered the books and what they symbolized. With newfound determination, he held them up. The covers glowed brightly, filling the area with silver, gold, and emerald green light. At the sight of the shining books, the animals perked up, their eyes widening with hope. The colors returned to their fur and feathers as they remembered what it was like to feel happy and free. The clearing blossomed with vibrant flowers and lush greenery. Birds sang joyful songs, and the river sparkled merrily. The shadow beast recoiled, hissing. All this positive energy was hurting it. Arlo continued to radiate courage, kindness, and wisdom. He helped the animals, sharing stories and advice. He tended to the gardens, coaxing wilted flowers back to life. He listened to each creature's troubles, offering comfort and aid. With each act, the shadow beast writhed in pain. The more joy and kindness Arlo spread, the weaker the shadow beast became. Soon, it was nothing but a shriveled husk of its former self, defeated. The shadow beast dissipated into a cloud of dust, leaving behind only a whisper of its former power. With the beast gone, the clearing buzzed with activity. Animals scampered happily through the trees. Flowers bloomed in every color imaginable. Birds sang joyous songs, and laughter echoed through the branches. Arlo and his friends celebrated their victory over the shadow beast. Ulrich presented Arlo with a glowing feather. "For your bravery, kindness, and wisdom, you have saved our world from darkness. Take this to remind you that the greatest magic comes from within." Accepting the feather, Arlo realized that the true adventure was discovering his own potential. As the sun began its journey home, Arlo knew it was time to return. Saying heartfelt goodbyes, he stepped back through the portal with a heavy heart. Back in the familiar forest, Arlo looked around with new eyes. The trees whispered secrets to the wind, flowers stretched towards the sunlight. Even the shadows seemed to dance with life. Realizing the magic was all around him, Arlo vowed to protect nature and its creatures. He shared stories of his adventures with animals, encouraging others to appreciate the natural world. Over time, he became known as the hero who brought light back into the forest. And whenever he saw a butterfly, a lion, or an owl, he remembered the books that had guided his path, reminding him that courage and wisdom are qualities that every hero needs to embrace. If you like this video, like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to press the bell icon button to watch more interesting stories. Thank you.